Yo, welcome to the Donkey's Mouth. I really am fucking tired. Wow, I fucking blew that.
What happened? What?
I had 2 shows Thursday, 2 shows last night.
Yeah.
And then this morning I went to LBI and winterized a boat.
What's LBI?
Long Beach Island, and that's in New Jersey.
Okay.
Jersey Shore.
Okay. You did what to a boat?
I winterized it.
Whose boat is it?
My grandfather's.
So what'd you do? Cover it with a tarp?
No, you have to like wax it and clean like the vinyl and shit like that. Like it's a whole thing.
Were you doing this to be like nice, or do you have like an investment?
Yeah, he's dying, and I was. This
okay,
is
well,
it.
Yeah.
Is he gonna give you the boat after he dies?
I hope not. I don't want to winterize it. That would be terrible. Oh, are you kidding me? I'm not. I grew up on boats forever.
Yeah.
But
when you say he's dying, are you putting his body on the boat and then throwing an arrow out to him?
Oh,
Viking
funeral, dude.
I would fucking love
but then
to put him out that way.
What would be the point of winterizing it if you're just gonna blow it up?
Because
that
you
way
don't
the
want
boat's
the ice
fine.
to like kill the fire. Like
yeah. I want it to be toasty.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we did. We just put a bunch of sticks and leaves in there.
You can't have a sheen of snow on it. It'll
Yeah,
go
that's
out
true.
in no time.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
That's absolutely
How long
true.
did that take you to do?
I got there at 9 and I was done at 12.
Okay. Damn. So you woke up early then?
Yeah. Well, you have to wake up at like 7 to get there.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah. And so now, you know what? We're here on the Donkey's Mouth
Yeah.
fucking podcast.
Michael Clayton's here.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
I like starting and then introducing the guest halfway through the podcast.
I don't know why. We should have waited a little bit longer, honestly,
I know.
to introduce.
We're all doing good though.
Yeah.
Fucking Stan, how are you doing?
I'm all right.
Nice outfit.
Thank you. The Hurricanes won today, barely. They were 3-3, guys.
Are you from
This is-
Florida originally?
Nope.
Just likes them.
Just big. I'm old. I'm 38. So when I grew up watching, like the late 80s, early 90s Hurricanes were kind of fun.
Gotcha.
Like this was like a little bit
are
after.
you like fans of players that neither of us have ever heard of? Is that what it is?
No. Yeah, you've heard of Michael Irvin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a guy.
I get that because I'm also 38, but
Okay.
What?
and my favorite team is the Yankees.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I got into them when like Don Mattingly was playing, and they didn't win
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
So like it was always funny because a lot of people became bandwagon jumpers throughout the country, but I was
Right.
like this South Carolina kid who was like, no, Don Mattingly's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I like the Yankees.
yeah, which was not a popular sentiment there.
Derek Jeter is a godsend.
But there's no pro team in South Carolina though. So why
The
not?
closest you had is the Braves, and
Yeah, fuck the Braves.
I despise the Braves with every inch of my being.
How was that? Because they won in what 95?
I remember I went to a concert with my family at one point, but they were on the TVs outside of the concert venue, like near the refreshments. They were playing the game, and it was the Braves against the Yankees one year, and the Yankees just destroyed them.
Nice.
And I was like, hell yeah! And then all these heads tilted at me. I felt like a black dude in a Jordan Peele movie. Like it was just like everybody was looking at me like, what the hell are you doing here?
Oh, you like them Northerners, boy? You like that shit? I hate pinstripes.
Right? So I just started watching them in the 80, like late 80s, early 90s, and I've been stuck ever since.
Nice.
And then like the late 2000s teams, late 90s Hurricane team. The 2001 Hurricanes are the greatest football team of all time, hands down.
Greatest football team.
Greatest college football team of all time.
Oh, okay. All right.
They beat teams by an average of like 30 points.
Whoa.
And they had, I think, 17 first-round picks on that team, like a few Hall of Famers. I mean, you talk about Ed Reed, like Jeremy Shockey, Andre Johnson, Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee.
Didn't Dwayne Johnson go there back in the day?
Yeah. He was on the mid-90s teams.
Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, yeah. He
They had a 30 for 30 on, I
Yeah.
think, around the time that he went.
Yeah.
Because that was another like legendary time for him.
Yeah. Fun fact: he was at University of Miami, and he was gonna start, and then they recruited a young man by the name of Warren Sapp.
Oh.
They brought him in to play tight end, and they were like, "How about you play defense?" And then he just became the best defensive tackle on the team right away. It was insane. Like as like a 19-year-old, it was crazy.
Like when they threw Paul McCartney on base.
Yeah. They were like, "Oh, we should have been doing this from the very beginning. This is crazy." Yeah.
Wow. All right. What a story.
Yeah.
Good for them.
I
wish
those 30 for
Tim
30s are good.
Tebow would have not had a big ego and just played tight end.
He should have.
I think he's built for it. You know, you're a football guy or no?
I'm not a huge football guy.
Gotcha.
I mean, I'm a casual viewer, but
How do you feel about weird Christians? Because that's what Tim Tebow is as well. He's also a weird Christian.
I am no longer religious.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
I went to like a Southern Baptist high school.
Oh fuck!
So like I did my time served.
Yeah.
So I'm out.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn, they probably that's hardcore, right?
If you can imagine, the mother from Carrie ran a high school. That's the best way to describe it. Like there was some crazy shit. I remember we went to like some type of speech and debate tournament that was at one of the colleges affiliated with my high school.
Mm-hmm.
And we were staying in like dorms on the college, like Christian college dorms. And apparently the RAs for like the floors were like masturbation accountability partners.
What?
Like they go in and like, you're not jerking off, right? Like that kind
Who
of.
says yes to
If
that
only
question?
Yeah.
Louis C.K. went to that school.
It'd be a different world, man.
He should be like, "Hi, I'm gonna masturbate. I just need you there."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who's getting asked that and being like, "Oh, my bad, I am."
Oh, there was a ton of wild shit. I still remember at my high school, one of the headmasters taught like Bible class, like our 10th grade year. And if a girl fell asleep in the class, he would walk over and start massaging their shoulders.
That's not good.
Like they were asleep. And it was funny because I was still like, in the Me Too.
That way they relax more. No.
But what was funny about it is like the Me Too era and all that, like we understand like all that shit now.
Yeah.
But back then I was like, I know something about this is wrong, but I'm not really
Yeah.
sure what it is. Like,
Right. I know it ain't right. I know that.
yeah, like I knew it wasn't right, but I'm like, this isn't assault in a traditional sense, but this feels wrong.
If only there was a
And then, like,
hashtag
We've seen all kinds of
at the
stuff
time.
like that.
If only at the time there was the internet and the hashtag to tell you that was wrong. The people would.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They wouldn't have done it.
True.
yeah,
Yeah.
I blame Twitter. I'm
Yeah.
gonna sue him.
Yeah.
Remember
Where were you?
when
Where
you
were
were
you
in
10 years ago?
You guys are a little bit older than I am. Do you guys remember the spaghetti strap argument in schools, or were you guys past?
Well,
it
I went
already?
to an all boys private.
And I
school.
went to a private school, and the spaghetti strap, like you actually could not have spaghetti straps for like your prom dress at essentially our prom. You had to have like these huge like heinous straps.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, like the big poofy thing.
well, the
Yeah.
funny thing is they could only enforce that rule if you went to Northside. So what inevitably happened was, it's like you had dudes that had like a girlfriend that like lived off campus,
Yeah.
or didn't go to that school, and they couldn't really enforce those rules on them.
Right.
So you had dudes who were
the
dating
whores are coming.
Yeah, you had dudes who were dating girls from high school, and like they were wearing like mini skirts like up to here and
Hell
shit, and
yeah.
like having it all pop out.
Hell yeah.
And we were always like, man, other schools are fucking awesome. Like,
They are. Public school fucking kicks ass, dude.
Yeah, I had no idea. I didn't even go to my prom.
No?
No.
Oh, wow.
no,
Because I asked a bunch of people to go, and like I got a bunch of
You
no's.
seem desperate that way. You
Yeah,
can't
right.
keep asking
you know,
people.
Well,
I asked one girl, and she told me that she literally said yes to somebody an hour before that.
yeah.
And
Was she lying? Was
huh?
she told the truth?
I have no idea.
Oh,
But and then the same week, some girl asked me, and I went, nah.
man,
like,
I
no
really want to
thanks.
date, not you.
Right. Oh no, you saw her, right? No, not you.
oh man, I wish you were somebody else.
Yeah. Oh, don't you have a litter box to get to? I
So
don't.
the other thing is, the other thing was I went, the school's all boys, and I was like, well, because I know other schools, people will go solo because it'll be a group of friends with like
Yeah,
guys,
that's what I
girls,
did.
whatever. But like, if you didn't go with somebody, I was gonna be the odd man out, literally. So I was like, I'm just not
Because
gonna go.
everyone's like making out and
Right.
fucking,
Yeah.
and doing coke off
Yeah.
of each other.
Did the lack of women
These
ever get
pizza.
to you? Did you ever look at like a chubby dude in your class and go like, just push your tits together,
No, you
man?
know-
I
you-
can't like.
You know what's funny? I look back at at the time I would like there was a couple teachers that were like, man, that she could get it, and then once you graduate, you're like, ugh, that's what it's like you're in jail for 8 hours a
Oh,
day.
like if you look back at a lot of the stuff you found attractive when you first started
Yeah.
having sexual feelings, I remember the first porn I ever watched. It was called The Time Machine. It was like from 96 or 97. And I remember like at one point when I realized, oh yeah, we can get anything streaming now.
Yeah.
Like I'm going
Right.
to find this porn, I'm going to watch it because it was awesome. And I look back and like the main woman in it, it was clear she just had like breast implants because
Yeah.
there's still the ripples around it.
Oh, God.
And,
It's all
like, it was-
scarred. It's like Frankenstein.
yeah, like it was not a good
Franken-tit.
porn, but I was like back then I was like there is nothing hotter than
Yeah,
this.
you didn't know. You didn't know.
Yeah. Well, those are the days where you just like looked up like this person naked.
Yeah.
And they just photoshopped this lady's head onto some tits. And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
Like That's what she looks like.
I was a big X-Files fan. I remember a picture of Gillian Anderson.
Yeah, I remember that one.
But it's funny, too, because if you look back now, like the picture was her standing there with like her fingers right over her vagina. Like Gillian Anderson's like, yeah,
Right.
I'm going to be on a major television show on Fox, and then I'm also going to do pussy shots. Like,
I posed for this. Yeah.
I remember that made the rounds. That was like the 90s.
it was her. There was a bad Photoshop of Mariah Carey.
Yep.
Like there was like a whole batch of them.
I
There
saw
was,
one of Emma Watson once. And
That's recent, right?
well, I'm younger.
Oh, right, okay.
So for me, it's not.
Oh,
But I was like, Emma Watson naked. She's older than me, you
Yeah.
know, so it makes sense.
It was also from the first Harry Potter movie.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they were
yeah.
like, we need to speak to you, Nick.
Well, I was gonna say, like, when you first having this started with the sexual experiences, my first one, grown men.
what?
No, I'm kidding. And since then, it's become young women.
Yeah.
But
Well, you got to start. You got to eventually even out and go somewhere. with
yeah,
that.
exactly. You gotta pick a lane.
Yeah.
And I fit right in there. I'm
I remember. Yeah, you're right. There was Tara Reid.
Yeah.
There was because people were just there was remember that tennis player Anna Kournikova?
Hell yeah.
That made it.
That was a big one, too. Yeah.
Well, so she
was
I'm
hot, right?
Yeah, she was.
Well, and if you took like 5 minutes to rationalize any one of them, you
Yeah.
could have figured out they were fake without even looking at
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Like Anna Kournikova's, her whole thing was like she was a virgin for a long time.
Yeah.
She was like,
Yeah, that's why you want to see it.
Yeah, and then you're like, she's a virgin, but she's doing like hustler photos
Yeah.
on the
Right,
side. Like,
Also, like if any of us took the time to look at it and be like, well, her neck shades are two different colors.
Right, there's that, and you're like, that's not her body with the clothes.
Yeah.
So why? Like I was gonna get to the point with the Emma Watson. Huge tits.
Yeah.
On internet Emma Watson. Not so much.
Not so much in real life.
No, but she's a pretty gal,
She's a pretty
smart
girl, yeah.
gal.
Yeah.
You know, we're a feminist podcast. We're about three things.
Yeah.
We're about feminism. We're about favoritism.
Yep. Nepotism
Actually, you
for
remember
sure.
that from that mic that I apologize for putting you guys on. Yeah, we're about rowdiness.
Yeah.
I respect that for sure.
Yeah, but I do apologize for that fucking.
You know what's funny? I got there late, obviously, and what's his that guy? Can I say his name?
Sure, I don't give a shit.
Frank. What was it? DeMeo? Frank DeMeo?
Oh yeah, that guy. He's a little crazy.
Like, I went to take a shit when he was on stage, and I did hear some loudness, but I didn't think about it.
You just
Is that the
yelling
older
at us.
dude?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're just yelling at us.
Is that what he does?
Yeah, I saw him do that once before.
Oh my god.
There's another guy there that was annoying the shit out of me.
Oh, the one that when we left, he was at the bar
Yeah.
talking about politics or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him yesterday too.
Really?
Yeah,
You know
he-
where I didn't see him do that on any booked show. Like,
No, you'd be right.
Yeah.
I think that's the guy you just run into at like late mics.
Yeah.
You know, remember those characters?
Yeah.
oh yeah, like there's something about when you first start out open mics that there's characters I miss when they're gone.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I remember even when I first started comedy, there was a time two comics got in a fist fight, and I'm like, what are they fighting about? And they're like, oh, he stole his joke, and I'm like, what was the joke? And he's like, oh, he had a joke about Asians being bad drivers. And I'm kind of like, I'm pretty sure that's not an original premise.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's
No.
like the epitome of hack.
Yeah.
Right. I have friends that they got into a huge fight over going back in time and killing Hitler joke.
Oh yeah, like Mike Kaplan has a
Yeah.
great one like that. Yeah.
And when I heard the joke, I was like, it's not that good that
Yeah.
either of you should be upset.
Right. Write another joke.
Just shake hands.
Yeah.
That is the worst when you see somebody steal a joke that's not even good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to be like, hey guys, this joke sucks.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Write something else if you can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it
maybe
doesn't
that's what it is. Maybe they just I can't write something else. I got to fight for it.
Well, it's a difference
Weak.
between like, I mean, joke thievery is disgusting no matter what. There's a difference between stealing the Hope Diamond and stealing like a can of PBR. Like,
Yeah, I'll forgive you.
yeah.
Yeah. No, there's so many people that I remember from when I started that like I remember my first bringer show at Eastville. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know. I haven't seen him since. It was like this is 12 years ago now. He went up first and he had a boombox with him and he played some song and he was pretending to like ask people for money like a homeless person.
Yeah.
And it was like he was like kind of like he was black, but it almost felt like a minstrel show. Like he had put on blackface.
Oh, like he was doing like a caricature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was uncomfortable, and I left. I was like, I'm going outside.
Wait, was he doing like Uncle Tom? Like, what was he doing?
Dude, it was just like he was
Well,
like,
hello there, white people. Was he doing that?
that, but way sadder.
Oh.
It was
Why,
like-
hello there,
yeah,
white people.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. Were you that's crazy. Imagine. He was like doing like little soft shoes, like.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
yeah. And then he was like, "Please help me, please." And I was like,
Now Nick's gonna
Oh.
be like, one time I went to a mic dressed as a black person. And like,
Yeah, I was just doing my old act.
Yeah. Yo, it was so uncomfortable. I was like, I'm going outside.
Yeah, that makes you go like, I don't want to laugh.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like waited by the bar, pretty much up until I went up.
Did you confront this person?
No, I didn't. I was so out of like I was like because I was like he just ruined the show.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like no one's gonna laugh at anything because this guy just set the vibe.
Mm.
But luckily, Judah Friedlander and Jim Gaffigan both dropped in.
Oh, well, there you go. That'll fix it.
that'll ease.
Wait, was this guy the host?
No,
Oh,
just took the bullet.
he should host.
I wish I could remember who that was. I wish that whole show was recorded so I could
He
find
like
out who
Song
that
of the
is.
South.
Could you imagine if it was like somebody who's like huge now?
Right.
That was just them starting out.
You hear about like the older days of comics. There was even crazier shit. I remember hearing one story about Sam Kinison where he was bombing at some club like in the middle of nowhere, and he had his trench coat on, and like at one point he goes, and this is like insane to think about today. He goes, "How do you know I don't have a shotgun in there? I'm not just gonna spray every one of you." And like,
Hilarious.
and then they would be like, "Man, that made us a little uncomfortable, but we'll see you next week."
Yeah.
like,
Right.
like,
You could never get away with that. Nowadays.
oh God, no,
No,
Yeah,
no.
no.
Especially just because people just get shot up in places.
Right,
It
yeah.
hasn't happened in a comedy club yet.
I don't.
That
think so.
hasn't happened yet, which is shocking.
Yeah. All right.
Because all the things that I love at this point have had some type of mass shooting.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I love going to the movies. I love going to concerts.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
but stand up is like the one thing. And it's
Yeah.
funny. We've all met enough people that it's like, really? You guys haven't shot at one of
Yeah.
them yet? You got half of you are nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you ever like be at like one of these like janky either clubs or like one of these bar shows, and like for some reason one of these guys just wants to talk to you,
Yeah.
yes.
and he comes up to you and he's just the most frightening human being.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is why there should be shootings here.
But
It's-
also, like, expressing that to people who don't do comedy doesn't make as much sense. And the reason I say that is because comics are already weird fucking people, myself
Yeah.
included anyway.
Yeah.
For you to be weird enough to creep out a comic, you really
Yeah.
have to be fucking weird.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
like, if I told a friend
To
of
make
mine,
me
like,
go,
if I tell a friend of mine, like, man, this other comic was being really weird, they're going to be like, well, you all fuckers are weird. I'm like, it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
No, yeah.
Not the
Our
same
level of weird is it's
the
true.
threshold
Yeah.
is
Like,
way up
way
here.
high.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
right. If you freak out a male comic, then you did some wild shit.
Right.
Like I'm trying to think of it. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of jaded, but like, I don't think I've come across anybody that's like the first time I met Frank Terranova, I was like, this guy, he's a comic. All right, that's weird, but okay.
I love Frankie T.
Yeah, but then after you get to know him a little bit, you're like, oh, he's just a weird Italian guy.
Yeah. He's
But
he's a
I don't
big
like.
weirdo.
But that it's funny. That was Creek in the Cave energy. That was just straight up Creek. That,
He ran it,
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
You know, it's like if you didn't go there without like seeing him sit next to Conrad Roth for holding court for some reason.
Yeah. Everybody's
Yeah,
listening
Derek
to him
Humphrey
be
is one
racist.
of my close friends, so I've just been roasted 8 hours a day
Yeah.
for the last 10 years.
Right. I love Derek, man.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
I did that Connecticut thing with him,
Yeah.
the comics
Yeah.
thing, and he fucking murdered. Like, should have won easily.
He's
Yeah.
a great comic.
Yeah,
and
he's
I
amazing.
think they picked like someone good looking.
Well,
But right before I went, the comic before me, there's a bride's party, and they were just annoying as soon as they walked in, right? And the comic before me was, I guess, when they decided they were done with the comedy and they wanted the show to be about them. They're like yelling at him. I could hear him yelling at them. Like, it was like awkward.
yeah.
Because when I got up there, I felt the heaviness of the room. Something just happened with the bride.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was supposed to do a contest right now.
I still remember a show he did at UCB one time, and there was like a little 13-year-old kid in the room. And like all these comics have been saying R-rated shit, and the mom's there with like her like 12 or 13-year-old kid. And he looks down at the kid and he's like, "Hey, buddy, how old are you?" And the kid, like being a snarky dick, he just goes like, "1,000,000 years old." And Derek goes, "1,000,000? Fuck you, you little piece of shit. I was just trying to have a human moment with you, you little." And then he starts like ripping him apart. And then his mom starts laughing. And he goes, "See, even your mom finds it funny. No one's going to protect you now."
I like that shit.
That's great.
I love when you try to be like nice and then you go, fuck it, I'm gonna be a villain.
Nah, yeah, fuck this kid.
Yeah.
That's what comedy's all about.
Yeah.
I've been trying this as a new opener. Is you ever hear me do that joke where it's people know who my dad is? Someone once came up to me and they said, "Hey, I met your dad once." I was like, "Thanks, Mom." I just been opening with that, which it makes it awkward. Like the first sentence, the people know who my dad is. Makes me seem like a psycho because it's the first thing I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then I do the rest of the joke.
Yeah.
And it gets like a big pop. So I'm like, all right, I'll just open really awkwardly.
Yeah.
Like a psychopath that's not
Set
over
the tone. Exactly, like a psychopath.
After you've done comedy for a while, a lot of people think, "Oh, you're just trying to get laughs." And it's like, no, you're trying to get laughs when you want the laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to say some stuff and just want the audience to go, "Where the hell is this going?"
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
that could be a lot of fun. It can have a horrible payoff sometimes too.
Yeah.
But
That's what
most
makes
of
it
the time
fun.
Yeah,
Unless they're laughing at the wrong part. You ever have like one of these jokes where they're laughing at the wrong part of the joke and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
the worst than that is like if you're doing a joke where you're kind of ironically taking the wrong position.
Right.
And then they're like laughing at the part that you're being wrong in right away a little too hard.
Yeah.
Like if you're going like, let me tell you my problem with Chinese people, but like the entire joke is actually supportive of Chinese
and they're
people.
on board.
Right.
If they're dying laughing at the first half, you're like, well, fuck, I can't even do the joke now.
They're gonna be upset when they hear the second part of this.
It's like, oh man, we're on board with this. Where's this going? Yeah.
Right. Sometimes you do have to like play to them. I was talking to somebody where they're saying, because I did perform for a Rotary Club.
Yeah.
Recently, and there's one younger guy in the front. And I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing here? You're too old, whatever." And then he goes, "Oh, these are my parents." I'm like, "All right, this is your initiation night. We're gonna come out here. We're gonna take a goat out here. We're gonna cut its throat. Welcome to the Rotary Club." And that didn't get much of a laugh. And some lady goes, "Wrong club." So I went, "All right, we're gonna get a Democrat out here. We're gonna cut its throat."
Oh, I saw that clip. Oh, yeah.
And boom, big pop. And I'm like, "Oh, all right, I'm gonna hold this position on stuff."
Yeah.
No problem.
What's a Rotary Club?
They meet and they talk about stuff, and it never affects you in any way.
Okay.
I've never heard anyone go like, the Rotary, they got us again.
Yeah.
It's not the Freemasons, but it feels similar to that, and it feels like they just have some common thing to kind of gather with.
They're the cheap Masons.
Yeah. Yeah, but like,
like that.
Thanks.
The only difference is like, unlike the Freemasons, they don't like run the media.
Right.
But, like,
Right.
Or the Jews.
Yeah.
I like that I looked directly at the camera and said that.
Yeah. No, because we all know what the Jews are up to
Yeah.
now.
You know who knows what the Jews are up to is Kanye West.
Kanye West. What was up with his thing? His T-shirt. Why did he do this?
I don't know.
Do you know what he did?
White Lives
Yeah,
Matter.
White Lives Matter.
Yeah. All
Should we
right.
clip that? Should we? No.
Yeah. Actually, Mike, look at the
Say it
camera
again, just
and
real
just
quick, so-
say "White Lives Matter" as
please.
slowly as you can.
Slowly, please.
And we're gonna zoom in on.
And then air nothing else.
Yeah.
Michael Clayton on the podcast.
That's the
White
one.
I think he's just a wrestling heel.
Right? He's just
I
doing.
think he just fucking
think he's
goes
just
for
playing-
whatever he thinks is going to get the most juice.
Yeah.
Like, I think tomorrow, if everybody said, like, oh, Pootie Tang is the greatest movie ever, he'll be like, fuck Pootie Tang.
Yeah.
Like, he just wants to be adversarial.
Damn.
Didn't he? He went on. I forgot who he did
Booty
the interview
Tang.
with. I think it was with Tucker Carlson, and he was like praising. He was like, "Trump is the shit, man. Trump is done." Like,
Well, and he'd been praising Trump
Yeah,
for
that
a
was
while,
like
but, like
that's true.
right from the beginning.
But he
was
did
a
like a
Trumper.
lot of anti-Semitic stuff.
Yeah,
too, which
yeah.
It's funny because that got cut. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the anti-Semitic stuff when Tucker Carlson's like, this is too anti-Semitic
Yeah.
for me.
Right. I don't like to teeter on it.
apparently that's happened before. Like he went on TMZ. Remember he had that big thing with on TMZ, and like Van Lathan like called him out for being like. Apparently there's way more to that where he was like being anti-Semitic and praising Hitler, and they like the guy that owns TMZ is like what was it, Harvey Levin? He's Jewish, and he just cut it. He was like, this isn't.
Wow.
Well, and watching like the Tucker Carlson, the first thing I thought is like, man, it's fucked up. He cut that because it's clear he's trying to like go with some type of narrative. But also, I'm like, Kanye West people have been fawning after Kanye West for so long until recently. How many interviews was he saying this kind of crazy shit early on, and they just cut it out?
Yeah.
Got to be a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not the first
Right.
fucking time.
They should just
It's
let
not
him.
new that he's insane.
No, yeah, he's a
Yeah,
psychopath.
he's always, but like, there's that level of insanity you'll cope with if
Right.
what they're making is cool.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Right.
But that's the thing. He's gotten to a point where the stuff he's making isn't cool anymore. It's like we don't
No.
like. It's just
Yeah.
his music is.
I really don't believe a single thing he says.
Right.
I think George W. Bush does care about black people.
What's the last?
He did say that.
What's the last album? I mean, I
hired
think Yeezus was the last
Yeezus was
album
the
that I
last
thought was
album.
great,
Yeah.
and then
Yeezus
everything
was
else
good.
has kind of been
Yeezus
hit or
was
But
miss.
good.
even though that's pretty blatant that he doesn't like the Jews.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jesus?
Yeah,
Really?
that's true. That's a good point.
That's our Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
He's been trying to
boys.
tell us. He's been trying to tell us for years.
Yeah. He's like, I don't like him.
The Life of Pablo is actually very anti-Semitic. I don't know if you know that.
Really?
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure
I'm
out.
trying to find anti-Semitic Kanye West
Yeah.
songs.
How great would it be if Kardashian got back at him about like fucking Woody Allen?
Oh, that would be so good. Just hanging out with having like a famous Jewish guy hanging out with his kids.
True.
That would be great. She should start banging Modest Yahoo. Just have that guy just hanging
Just the
out.
oldest, most Israeli
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
I can find.
Fucking Mandy Patinkin. just her out on the town with Mandy Patinkin.
Yeah.
hanging out with his
Taking
kids.
photos,
Yeah,
making
yeah.
out in booths.
Just like picking peas out of his beard.
right.
My name is
Kim
Inigo-
Kardashian
my
was
name
seen
is
at
Inigo
Temple.
Montoya. I fucked your wife. Prepare to die.
I would love to see. That'd be such a great beef. That'd be such a great internet
Mandy
beef.
Patinkin versus Kanye West.
Think of the great music that would come out of that. Some amazing music would come out of Kanye.
From Mandy Patinkin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's a musician too, I believe.
Is he?
I think
Yeah,
he did some
yeah.
stuff.
Oh shit.
He was like
listen,
a Broadway dude, I think.
Yeah, there we go.
listen, let's
He'd
clip-
write a song about it.
Let's clip this. Send it. Oh yeah. He wasn't he in Fiddler on the Roof.
I think
I
so.
think he was,
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, now he's fiddling someone's roof.
I think we need to clip this. Send it to Mandy Patinkin. Listen, Mandy, you need to get with Kim Kardashian solely to fuck with Kanye West. I think that would be. I
think he'd
love
be
that.
outright. He'd outright just be like, "Nah, not that Jew."
Yeah.
He would do that.
Yeah. Any other Jew? Do you think he thought Pete Davidson was Jewish or something like that? Because he didn't like him at all.
No, because they were
Kanye-
friends up until he started
Kanye?
fucking his wife.
Were they friends?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh.
I think it was really the fucking my wife part.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No,
Oh, okay.
Pete was wrong for that.
Was he?
they were already. I think
They
they
were
were already
divorced.
broken up. Like,
they were already
pretty
broken up,
firmly.
but that's your friend's girl, man.
That's fair.
You know what she's
Yeah.
doing. You know what she's doing for headlines.
But also,
point.
was it one of those
Unless he
Hollywood
didn't.
things where you just go, "Oh, we're friends" because you had 3 good interactions at a premiere, or
Yeah.
were they actually like hanging?
oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not in with the either side.
Yeah.
Well, he's broken a few women with that horsecock of his.
That's what I keep hearing.
Yeah.
Is like
Kate
he's got
Beckinsale. I heard he like
He
destroyed
took that
her.
bitch down.
Yeah.
That one impressed me.
Yeah.
He took
Yeah.
down that stinky Brit, huh?
Yeah. He went underworld. He is he I think he might be. They intimated that he might be with what's her name from Big Bang Theory.
Kaylee Cuoco?
Yeah, Kaylee
Oh, yeah?
Cuoco. They have a Hulu.
Why not?
They have a movie on Hulu together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Is
mean,
that the bodies movie?
No, but I'm sure maybe
that movie was good, by the way.
was
It
it?
was.
Yeah, that movie was dope. Did you ever see Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
No,
Oh,
Same
while
vibe?
ago.
It's similar vibe. It's like a comedy horror movie.
because I saw the trailer and if it the vibe I got from it was like oh like all these buzzwords like she was like one person's like you're being toxic and they're using gaslighting as a term and like just like young people using
The whole premise is supposed to be is like if you were under attack by like a vicious killer, who would be like the most inept people to handle it, and it's a lot of like
Gotcha.
contemporary
Young,
culture, like
woke
teens.
people.
Yeah, like young.
I
woke
thought
people.
about I wanted to see it because I mean I'm a fan of Pete. Yeah, I've known him for a long time. And Rachel Sennott is a stand up and
Yeah.
so I was like I was curious about it but I never I'll check it out.
Yeah, I mean, horror this year in general has had some really, really good entries, but that was one of them. It was
Yeah.
a very funny movie,
Yeah.
like genuinely funny, and everybody in the movie was really good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Did y'all see Hocus Pocus too?
No. I fucking hate the first Hocus Pocus.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, but we all right. So we're the same age.
I am gonna see it eventually, but
How did you not? How did the first one miss you? Because
the first one
we're the
missed
same
me.
age.
And it's funny because like I'm a horror fan, so even anything that was like horror adjacent,
Yeah.
like I like things that scare me, but I also like just spooky iconography. So
Yeah.
even if it's
Scooby-Doo
like,
guy?
yeah, love
Fuck
Scooby-Doo.
yeah, he's a Scooby-Doo guy.
Scooby-Doo's
Even if
dope.
it was like PG shit, if it's dealing with ghosts and all that kind of stuff, or
Just like
skulls,
that
skeletons,
shit.
I just like that shit. So when I saw the first Hocus Pocus, first of all, I thought it was weird and fucked up that the kid in that movie, his like sister was talking about him being a virgin all the time.
That's true.
Like she'd go up and he's like,
that's a good
yeah,
point.
he can't get no pussy. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
kind of like, this is a really weird thing to have in a movie.
Yeah,
Right.
like she's like 7. She's like that dick trash. And shit like
Right.
that.
They don't
yeah.
even do that in R-rated movies.
I thought they should have had a gritty reboot of Hocus Pocus where it's just them looking for virgins and it just turns into like a fucked up version of American Pie. It's like, hey, this bitch is going to kill us unless you fuck me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, like,
trying to get this dicky sticky.
yeah.
No, yeah. Like I remember seeing
You like that stuff, right?
the first one.
You like all the Hocus Pocuses.
Well, there's only 2.
You're a big fan of the franchise.
Yeah,
Princess.
I'm all about. I'm all about it. I'm trying to get in it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think
I'll
you're going to be
Hocus
in?
Pocus 3.
Okay. All right. There will for sure be a Hocus Pocus 3 now.
Did you finish it?
I watched the reviews.
Okay.
I really
They
started
didn't set it up for a third one, but they didn't have to set up the first one for a second one. So you
No,
could be right.
that's why you did it 30 years later.
yeah.
But that's I don't know. It felt like it was like the same movie, just
It
modern.
pretty much was. Yeah. It pretty
They're
much
like,
was.
all right, we're doing this again.
Yeah.
And that's a problem with a lot of the sequels is like the key to a good sequel is you have all the qualities that made the original good, and then you either increase those or add new
Yeah.
qualities to it.
Right.
And a lot of them just remake the movie and then, you know, jokes. If you do the same joke twice,
Yeah.
Right.
it doesn't have the same impact the
Right.
second time.
Yeah.
The
That's why
thing,
Hangover 2 is garbage.
right.
Yeah,
It's true.
it's all the same
It's
jokes.
the same movie,
Yeah.
just different place.
Yeah, different
Yeah.
place, exactly. Like the first Hocus Pocus, they obviously it's set in the beginning. It's like the 1600s, and then it jumps to 1990 whatever, right? And then
Yeah.
they don't have brooms, so one of them rides I think it was like a vacuum cleaner, right? In this one, again, no brooms, so it's like one of them has a Swiffer and the other one has 2 Roombas.
Right. I
Yeah.
saw that part.
Yeah, yeah. So I get what. Yeah, it's
It's very silly.
Yeah.
I get it.
yeah, it's campy, kinda.
Yeah. It's just if I already know the first one,
Yeah,
then all I know is like, oh, this is just 2022
right.
of the first one.
I thought my vibe going into it was like, okay, this isn't. I'm not watching like a Scorsese movie. I'm not looking for.
No,
Right. You got to
and-
suspend that.
Yeah,
And we're not the target audience
right.
for that movie
no,
either.
no,
No,
Like, at
which
all.
is why I was upset that you made me do that.
because I had just seen it and I was like, oh, I just saw that. That's a Halloween movie. Here, you watch that. I couldn't think of anything. If I had thought of something else, I would have suggested it. I did, however, watch Santa's Sleigh.
You did.
Yes.
Now you tell me what you thought of
Can
the
I tell you
opening.
something?
Huh.
That's a great fucking movie.
Yes!
Santa Sleigh is awesome.
I
Like,
have notes.
that first 5
Yes,
minutes.
It's the best thing
Oh,
ever.
great.
It's like one of the best
Fucking
openings
James
ever.
Caan yelling at Chris Kattan
Oh, yeah.
while he's fingering a chick. It's
R.I.P.
awesome. Yeah.
Wait,
awesome.
I was about to. Chris Kazan died. Oh,
Nah,
James Caan. That's
Caan.
right. That's right.
James Caan just died.
I
Fran
wish
Drescher
Chris
gets her
Kattan
hair on
died.
fire.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was great. These are the notes that I wrote. I laughed when I heard when James Caan said, "Listen, you half a fag."
Yeah, that's old school.
Yeah, yeah. And then kicking the dog is great. Kicking the dog. I wrote, how did they convince James Caan to do this? The claymation scene when they explained the backstory.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
That was great.
Awesome.
I loved when the kid was looking up the stuff on the computer and they couldn't get the rights to Yahoo, so it was Yuha. Or no, it was Huya. It was
Huya.
Yahoo backwards,
Okay.
which I thought was great. And then obviously Debo from Friday being in it is great. I
Hell
thought the titties at the strip club. It was an all around great movie.
Yeah.
Debo from
It's
Friday. There were
really-
2 wrestlers in there.
Yeah, yeah, and also he's dead. He's
Yeah.
also dead. Yeah,
Zeus is
Debo.
dead.
yeah. That I'm
You
glad
thoroughly enjoyed Santa's Sleigh.
every minute of it. I was usually
Wow.
when I watch a movie or a TV show, if like I'll play video games in the background. I was fully invested. I was like,
Nice,
yes.
because it's the greatest opening there's ever been.
Oh yeah, easily the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Like I will say, the main kid, terrible actor. I don't know what that kid's
shit.
doing now. That kid's awful.
Yeah.
Did you ever Did you ever hear the story about Debo getting angry because he got a red car when he worked at WWE?
No.
So he was playing Zeus in
Yeah.
WWE at the time. They were doing some actual matches to like promote the movie. So WWE got him this car to come pick him up. And he said, I refuse to get in the car. And they're like, why? And it was because it was a red car. And
Is he a Crip or something?
he's a Crip. Or at least he
Oh.
identifies a Crip. And he said, I won't ride Bloods.
You know what? Not for nothing.
Wow.
So they
Not for
got him
nothing?
a
I get it.
maroon car. And he got it. Had no problem.
That's still red.
I do love gang rules.
They-
Like, I won't use the letter B or what.
Oh, it's my favorite. Yeah, Crips won't. Crips won't write out the letters CK. So like if they write like the word black, it's BLACC. If they write fuck, it's FUCC.
Is that where that comes from?
Louis
Yeah.
CC.
Louis CC. Yeah.
Louis CC.
Yeah. Because
Wow.
the CK is short for Crip Killer.
Oh.
Is that where thick came from?
Well, that was just weird coincidence, I think. But I think maybe it did. Maybe
Chick flick with
Chick Flick.
with 4 C's?
4 C. But Bloods, Bloods won't say any word that starts with a C.
That seems childish.
Oh, but it's hilarious. Like there's a character that you ever watch Insecure?
No.
There's a show. Well, it's a show. It's black, so I'm like you could watch. It's fine. You would like it. But anyway,
Thanks, Stan.
it's an HBO
Thanks,
show. No,
thanks for your blessing in watching black
I think,
shows.
you'd love it. Anyway, there's
After I get through the Jeffersons, I'll get to your
oh,
show.
please do. We should review the Jeffersons. Every episode should be us reviewing an episode.
Just
of the
go to the
Jeffersons.
video store. Hey, I have my black friend pass for Sanford and Son. Can you give me season 1, please?
Dang it. You should do that. But there's a character on Insecure. His name was Thug Yoda for some reason.
Stud Yoda?
Thug Yoda.
Thug Yoda. Okay.
And he's a blood.
Okay.
Right? So there's a scene. He's actually he's a good dad, but he just happens to be a blood. And like there's a scene in like first season.
Bust your ass, I will.
So there's like the first season. There's a scene where his daughter says, "Daddy, I want to go home and watch the Care Bears," and he stops her. He's like, "No. Bears. This is a blood family," and it's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Like,
Okay.
Who is it? YG has this.
Still on Thug Yoda.
Yeah. There's a song. There's YG. He's a blood, and he has a song called "Bick and Back Being Bull." Because no C sounds. Can't say it. Bick and Back Being Bull.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a. Listen, I would identify. If anything, I identify more as a Crip because I look better in blue.
Okay.
I don't really wear much red. I do have some red though. I'm a Devils fan, so I do wear some red.
Okay.
But I
almost wear no red. So
none at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gang neutral. I feel like.
I probably would be.
Yeah.
I don't think either would accept me. So like that's. I think I remain.
I feel like the Crips are kind of inclusive.
Yeah. You ever watch that South Park episode where the 2 retarded kids became Crips?
Oh man, that was another thing in Santa Slay. At one point, what was it? The girl, the girl gives him a gift or something like that. And he doesn't. He's like, I say this with all due respect. Are you retarded? And I was, I spit out my drink. It was.
Were you watching with your girl?
No, she was at work. I'm gonna have to run it back.
She
tonight.
might have hated it. I don't know. But
I'm gonna fire it up.
As a wrestling fan, I love this movie, but also this movie pisses me off because Goldberg's terrible in wrestling in real life.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a bad wrestler. But, like, my favorite thing is he never wanted to turn, like, bad guy or heel because he's like, oh, all the kids look up to me. And I'm like, you did Santa Slay, motherfucker. Like, there's plenty of twisted shit in that movie that, like, it's a character.
The premise is twisted.
Was he still wrestling when that movie came out?
I think he was kind of in a limbo period at that time. He definitely wouldn't have done it while he was with WWE. I think it was like between WCW, WWE.
I need to look up the budget because it was kind of not going to say it was cheap, but like they had to pay these people.
Yeah, but
James Caan.
Yeah,
but what probably happened was James Caan and Fran Drescher. They could have either had some type of relation to somebody that made the movie.
Yeah,
because I mean they're in the movie for 10 seconds, essentially. So you probably didn't have to pay them as much, especially if you had some type of connection prior to that.
Right.
It
is an all-star first
Saul
3
Rubinek,
minutes.
dude. Saul Rubinek is in it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He's like a major star.
Santa Slay kicks ass, bro. That's what I was telling
awesome.
you.
Also,
I'm thinking a rich kid made it or produced it and was just like, we're just gonna put actors in it, and they're all like, I guess I'll do this piece of shit.
It's produced by Brett Ratner, dude.
There you go.
That's pretty great. How did they do that?
How did this go under the rug?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I gotta figure. Like, they don't even say the budget.
That's my favorite Christmas movie.
Well, and if Ratner produced it, he probably was able to arrange people to get on there for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably told James Caan, look, you don't need, like, you need
just do this, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna put you in some good shit.
Yeah. No, he said, do this, and I'll put you in one of my good movies. That doesn't
Right,
mean it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Brett Ratner's fucking garbage director.
I did notice that the soundtrack was all one guy. It was like one band, which I thought was funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's an old school movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When is that movie? 90s?
2005.
2005.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
like
shit.
the room has all one composer.
Oh yeah.
That's the one with the girl and the mom.
No, I'm talking
No.
about the Tommy Wiseau one.
That's the Tommy Wiseau
Yeah.
one.
Oh, that's a piece
Room.
of shit. All right, that one's Room. Not
Yeah.
The Room
The
and
Room.
Room are two different
Yeah,
movies.
Room won Oscars. The Room
Yeah.
probably never should have been made. Now, I
No.
love it, but I love it because
I
of how
didn't
awful
see
it
The
is.
Room because I refused.
Did you see the Disaster Artist?
I did.
Okay.
I enjoyed The Disaster
Yeah.
Artist.
If
But
you've seen The Disaster Artist, you'll probably enjoy The Room is bad enough that it's like fascinating.
My favorite part about The Room is like when people will go see it and they know the script and they'll shout it at the screen. It's hilarious. It's like, you know how like
yeah,
they'll do like
I've heard that.
It's become
Yeah.
like the new Rocky Horror movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They used to
Right.
do that with Rocky Horror. They still do a Rocky Horror. But
Yeah.
like that's what they like,
But
people
like
will
The
go-
Room has like I know there's screenings that come through here about 2 or 3 times a year
Mm-hmm.
because I've been to one before a couple of years ago and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's Rocky Horror still doing their thing, but
Mm-hmm.
it's become like a new Rocky Horror because they'll shout stuff at the screen and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. It's not about watching the movie. It's about
It's the experience.
It's
of
about the
being there.
experience.
Yeah.
There's a
Okay.
couple of properties they've done that with now. Those two, I know, like the musical episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer fans do that.
Really?
shit. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that's like a thing.
there's a musical episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah,
I
apparently.
never got into Buffy. I was too black for that.
But not Hocus Pocus.
Well, listen, I did listen. I grew up middle class, so there was some white parts of me. the white parts
Yeah,
watch Hocus
in you.
Pocus. Yeah.
Hey.
I think we had to choose between Hocus Pocus or Buffy. You would have been better off with Buffy.
Yeah, for sure. Cooler.
I remember the movie.
Buffy the movie?
Yeah.
The movie's very different from the show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because the show is almost like if they took what happened in the movie seriously.
Yeah.
Like, and the show initially kind of starts out rough, and then as
Mm-hmm.
it goes on, actually became kind of like a well-written show.
Yeah. That's what people. Yeah. It got a spinoff, right? It got a couple spinoffs.
It got a couple spinoffs, and actually, one of the spinoffs, the Angel one, actually had some parts that were okay too. Because like the series finale of that was essentially Armageddon.
Oh shit.
Like, yeah, they went like fucking all in on it, and it was actually kind of cool. But
I love those daytime TV shows. Well, it's not really daytime, but
It
those
was-
TV
yeah,
shows
yeah,
that, like the magical ones, and then like Charmed, and they do
I
like
love Charmed.
They
Yeah.
did like the big fucking thing, like the world's ending, and it's like a guy in a rubber mask,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and he's like very Halloweeny.
I love the Charmed was my jam.
That was my
I
mom's
used to-
shit. When I
but-
was sick, I would watch that.
Yeah. You stay home from school, you watch that, or like when I was in college, I used to like I didn't have to get up that early for class, and like it was just on, like in the morning.
Well, like the thing that I always found interesting about like Buffy as a TV show, and it's not like my favorite show, but it's an interesting show to watch because you actually see Joss Whedon like learn how to become a good writer while making the show.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
the first season of that is like hard to get through.
Yeah.
like
Gotcha.
it's kind of really just lame, like Monster of the Week television.
That's interesting.
And then by like season 2, he's actually trying to kind of go with.
He's got a story.
He's got like longer stories and he's got like kind of deeper stories to it. If you watch like the early South Park episodes too, it's kind of interesting to watch
Yeah.
because it's like a very smart show now, but like you see the evolution of it kind of getting
Right.
like
You go
sharper edge.
from literal anal probe humor
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
to like a
like
really
political satire.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a
And
really,
like really
smart,
smart political
Yeah.
satire, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, if you watch the early episodes, I mean, there's episodes here and there, but most of it's just like, this went up my ass. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it was kind of a punchline
They
to
had
everything.
a character named Big Gay Al.
Big Gay Al, yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
owned an amusement park
Yeah.
full of gay animals.
Yeah.
And that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then there was just like the commentary on like Rob Reiner or whatever. And you're like, the same guys, really? How that?
Yeah. It's like it's like when you see a show written by somebody and you go back to them and see where they started. Like I heard Matthew Weiner, he wrote Mad Men.
Yeah.
And he started writing Mad Men. I forgot what show he was on, but he was like the whatever the last season of whatever he was on before. He started writing Mad Men, and then he kind of like you can kind of go back and watch that to see like the roots of it. Or like Vince Gilligan too.
Vince Gilligan, and like even like when you watch his X-Files stuff,
Yeah.
you can see a sense of humor even then. There's a couple other ones. One of my favorite examples of that, Yanis Kaminski, who's a cinematographer for Steven Spielberg. He was like the cinematographer for like Schindler's List. Like he's a legendary cinematographer.
Great movie.
His first,
that movie.
His first movie was Cool as Ice, the Vanilla Ice movie. And
Hell
like,
yeah.
this is a fucking terrible movie.
Yeah.
But
You're
like,
wrong.
it is great to see some of those early projects.
Yeah.
TV's really, really particular too, because some of those like early TV shows they were on were just bad.
Yeah.
Like really bad.
Yeah, TV was bad.
Yeah,
Forever.
you couldn't have convinced someone like with any sort of credit to do a TV show, and now like you watch some of these TV shows and you like how like these people like these are movie stars.
Yeah.
These are movie stars doing TV.
Right. That's like Kevin Spacey when he did
House of Cards.
House of Cards. We were
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck? You're doing TV?"
Yeah. Even Robin Wright, really. Robin Wright. I mean, she's been
She
around
was a
forever.
film actress.
Yeah.
Well, there used to be a stigma in being a TV actor
Yeah.
that I don't think exists in the same way anymore.
think
No,
it's-
because
I think it's flipped.
There's a lot of
Like,
crossover.
Sarah Paulson, who does all the American Horror Story
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
she's in movies, but she's known as a TV star, but she's huge.
Yeah.
Like she's a
Right.
very, very big actress and
Look at
in-demand
Evan
actress.
Peters.
Yeah, Evan
Evan
Peters,
Peters
same
has
thing.
done some movies, but like it's like if you see Evan Peters and Ryan Murphy, that's it.
I think there wasn't a switch prior to the pandemic, but I think the pandemic completed the switch. Just because you had 2 years where people were not going to theaters that
Yeah.
much. TV was already transitioning where the quality was as good as film, and now
Right.
people are like, well, I can watch quality acting and quality writing
Yeah.
and not leave my house.
because if you're an actor, like you could. I mean, I think John Hamm is a perfect kind of balance of both. He's doing commercials now. I think like John Hamm he might be addicted to cocaine or something like that. He's doing everything.
He's taken on he's almost
He
like
is a madman.
Christopher Walken, where it feels like he says no to nothing.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. He's like the white Samuel Jackson.
But TV's also always had more of an impact than
Yeah.
film. It's just the quality wasn't there.
Right.
Because like I remember when Rob Williams was shooting Good Will Hunting, he was walking around, and this is like in the mid '90s, and somebody goes, "Hey, Mork, how you doing?"
Yeah.
And he kind of laughs, and like Matt Damon's like, people still yell that out, and he's like, "Oh, they yell out Mork more than anything else."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Really?" He's like, "You've done all these movies." He's like, "Yeah, but you're in people's homes when you're doing a TV
That's
show.
true.
It's
That's
like
a
a
good
much
point.
more personal thing."
That's a
Right.
good point.
That's
Yeah.
why he has the love that he has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other than like
it originated
the kids
from
movies
that
and things
yeah.
like that.
Like Jaleel White could have done anything, but he's always going to be Urkel, no matter forever.
Right.
No matter what he does.
Yeah. Well,
and you can know him for,
Alfonso Ribeiro's a guy like that.
Yeah.
yeah. They're
I'll
gonna be
throw
typecast
Roseanne
over.
in there.
Yeah.
John Goodman, I think he's out of it.
Roseanne, I think, is an easy case because, yeah, she's technically been typecast, but she essentially played herself on that show
Yeah.
anyway.
Right.
So that's kind of a different scenario than, like, Jaleel White, who I don't think is that nerdy in real life.
No.
No, nobody could
Yeah.
possibly.
Which is why they did the Stefan Urkel storyline. 'cause
Yeah,
he was
so he
like,
could actually
I'm
not
tired
be kind
of,
of a... Yeah.
Right. Can I be cool for like a
Yeah,
little bit?
please. But even like you said, John Goodman, that's a good example too, because John Goodman, like, yeah, I think it depends on how old you are, but like I love the Coen brothers.
Yeah.
When I think John Goodman, I think Oh Brother Where Art Thou, Raising Arizona. Like John Goodman, like he's a good actor.
He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge film nerd. I love the Coen brothers.
Yeah.
So like when I think of him, I think of film, but I'm sure 80% of the country probably thinks of Roseanne.
Roseanne, yeah.
Sure. Well, then he has the show that he's on now too, right? He has-
Is he on something now?
right. Is he on the Goldbergs?
No, I think he's on the new Roseanne show. He's on the
The
Connors.
Connors. Yeah.
The Connors. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking
But he
of.
also lost a bunch of weight.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
He's also on Righteous Gemstones.
that's oh my god, that is
Right.
such a good show.
Yeah.
They film it
Yes.
in my hometown.
Do they really?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
they film
man.
it. The church is
Yeah.
actually
Is it a real
an
church?
abandoned Belks in a mall
Oh,
that they
fuck,
converted
hell
into a
yeah.
church. Like
Nick, I'm telling you.
It's
Yeah.
been on my list. I keep passing it. And I'm like, I
It's
got it.
hilarious.
Righteous Gemstones is incredible.
Because like I think
right.
Danny McBride is an underrated genius. I think everything he does is great.
Speaking of Danny McBride, the new Halloweens.
Is he in them?
No, he
wrote
writes them.
Get
out of here.
He co-wrote all 3 with David Gordon Green.
Oh.
I love the first one.
I enjoyed the first one a lot.
The first one was shot in Charleston as well. Like, actually, that bathroom is 3 times grosser in real life.
There's 3 of them?
There's 3 of them.
One just came out.
Because the Halloween Ends just came out, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Halloween Kills came between those 2.
Yeah.
Halloween was filmed in Charleston.
That movie upset me.
Halloween 2 was filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I think the third one was filmed in Atlanta.
Interesting.
They shoot them all at night, so you can not differentiate.
I think those movies are good.
The first one's good. The second one is very, very mixed bag.
Okay.
Like, there's stuff I like, and then there's stuff that's really dumb.
Yeah, I hate the end of that movie.
Yeah. The third one,
second
I
one,
actually,
yeah.
the newest one, it's weird as hell.
Yeah.
I only saw
But
the
I
beginning.
enjoyed it.
I saw the opening
Yeah.
sequence, and then I had to go.
I felt it was good
I
overall.
laughed. I laughed at the opening.
Okay.
Yeah, the opening is funny, especially if you have a twisted sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did something kind of ballsy with the new one.
Okay.
That I respect the balls. I don't think every bit of it works. There's like parts of it that I think are like, that's kind of a weird choice.
Now, is this the end of that franchise?
They say so.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They
it
definitely
won't.
said it's going to be the end of like Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Doing any of that
gotta
stuff,
stop
but,
dragging that
like,
lady out here.
If it makes enough money, they'll make
I'm
another
sure.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll just keep making them. I think Friday the 13th is done because that 2009 one just didn't.
Friday the 13th, the problem isn't that it's done. They've been trying to make another one for a while.
Oh,
There was
really?
some type of weird rights battle between the producer on the film and the original like studio that owned it.
Really?
And that's like been held up in a legal battle. They've been wanting to make one for a while. In fact, at one point
Doesn't
they were
New Line Cinema have it?
New Line Cinema had it at one point, but I think that lapsed.
Gotcha.
I know Blumhouse is trying to get a hold of it.
Gotcha.
I like Blumhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, Blumhouse is awesome. And then I also know Spectre Vision, which is the one that Elijah Wood does. That makes some pretty good movies too. I know their big white whale is Freddy. They want to get the rights to Freddy.
Right.
But
I would watch a new Freddy.
There just was one, wasn't there, a few years ago?
there hasn't been one for a while. I think it was like
Okay.
2010 that the last one
Okay.
came out.
Gotcha.
And that was a remake, and it was bad. I think they should do a show on Netflix, and just the first season just be him before the accident.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
be him as like a
backstory.
child killer, and
Yeah.
and then like at the end of that season, then have him turn to Freddy. They should actually do like more long-term storytelling with
Yeah,
Freddy. 'Cause
yeah.
It's a much richer idea because there's like that supernatural context.
Right.
Like Jason would be hard to do as a TV show because Jason's a very basic like,
Yeah.
the kids weren't watching me, now I just kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Freddy, there's actually like a deeper story there that you could do like
Right.
a longer storytelling.
I always love the Simpsons version of like when Groundskeeper Willie.
That was great.
That was one of my favorite Treehouse of Horrors. Groundskeeper Willie. Basically, there's a parent-teacher conference, and Groundskeeper Willie gets stuck in the boiler room.
Yeah, he
and
becomes Freddy.
He
Yeah.
becomes Freddy, and then he haunts everybody's dreams. It was one of my that's
Yeah.
that
I
to
like the
me.
Shining one. That's
Oh,
what
the
I
Shining?
like.
The Shinning.
Yeah, the Shining.
It's like, you want to get sued?
Yeah.
All work and no play makes what? Homer go crazy?
Don't mind if I do. Oh man, that is so good. That's like I mean, obviously it goes without saying. Seasons 2 through I'll even say I'll throw in 11, but seasons 2 through 11 of Simpsons are some of the greatest TV writing of all time.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Those are the two. Like in between there, that's where it's like
I don't
genius.
think comedy today exists without those seasons. I
no,
really
no.
don't. I mean,
And
it was that formative. I think.
You
to a
think
lot of comedy.
about sometimes I watch episodes now and I'm like, oh, I didn't catch that joke when I was 9.
I think that was impactful. Mr. Show, I think, was
Mr.
impactful.
Show, yeah.
Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
I think, like, there's about 4 or 5 things that I would say, like, comedy today was completely informed by that. And Simpsons is one of them.
Kids in the Hall. I
Kids in
think
the Hall would
you
be
can
up
throw
there.
in there. Like, I mean, I know people. I'm a big SNL nerd, so like, it depends on who you ask. I think,
Sure.
like,
I'm not going to deny that it was impactful. For sure, it was.
I would say 80. Well, I don't know. It's eras, man, because the first 5 seasons of SNL are great. Then the next 4 are pretty good with Eddie and when Eddie joined. But then
They were good when Eddie joined, but he was literally the
he was
entire
the
reason
show.
to watch.
He was the show.
Yeah.
Right.
There was a down year in like 86 ish.
The first year after the main cast left, too, was pretty rough. The,
Yeah,
Gottfried
like
year.
79.
Yeah, it was because I think that was also when Lorne left for a while, too.
Lorne
and
left for like
Ebersol
4
took
years.
over.
Yeah, but
they had that one year.
Ebersol brought in Eddie.
Ebersol brought in Eddie, and it was funny because when Eddie got brought in, he was like 19.
Yeah.
And he was not brought in to be the star. What essentially happened was they brought in all these other people. Like Joe Piscopo was supposed to be like the breakout, like John Belushi star. And he did like 2 impressions that were good.
Right.
But Eddie would just go into the writing
He still
staff.
lives off of those impressions.
Yeah.
Still doing Frank Sinatra?
Yeah, every
If you ever look
Columbus
up-
Day, we got to watch his Frank Sinatra
If you look
impression.
up, there's a comedy special he did called Club Piscopo.
Oh, God.
That is still the worst comedy special I've ever seen in my
my
life.
God.
It's amazing. Like
He's not funny.
yeah,
No, he's not.
it's
None
really
of these,
bad.
none of those impression guys.
And Eddie
really
was
are.
genius. Like they could give Eddie anything and he would make it funny.
There's a story. I mean, you can go back and watch it. Like it was like whoever's supposed to host was late, and they just had Eddie go out and do the monologue, and they had to fill time. That's how crazy it was. Like it was just.
That's how good he was.
Yeah,
Well,
he
if
was
you go
amazing.
back, he's in every sketch.
Every sketch.
He's
Every
in
single
every
sketch.
fucking sketch. I mean, it's
Like-
it's remarkable to think of now, but he's in every fucking sketch.
He has just him alone. Like nowadays, people have multiple characters, but back then it was like you had like your one character and that was it.
Right.
Eddie had. You could go back. Gumby, fucking Mr. Robinson. He
James
did
Brown Hot Tub.
James Brown Hot Tub.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder. Like he just. There's that one sketch. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's called White Like Me.
I love that sketch.
Oh my god,
That's a hilarious
Like,
sketch.
It's
the part where he's on the subway and then they all look around and they all start like
Start
just throwing
partying?
apart.
Yeah.
The thing that they did that was so smart about that, because they couldn't have done like the N-word sketch that Richard Pryor done by that point.
No.
But what they did is all the stuff that white people are doing in itself is innocuous.
Right.
But what makes it racist is that they're waiting for black
Yeah.
people to leave to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So like none of the stuff is being overtly racist.
It's
Right.
just
It's just that they're choosing to have fun when
Yeah,
black
yeah, yeah.
people are around.
They're just never invited to the party.
Yeah. Dude. When he goes in to get the bank loan, he's like, "Don't you need a?" He's like, "No, nobody's here. Just take it." So good, so good.
Man, we
man.
have 3 minutes left. I want you to do some plugs.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you got?
Just doing comedy around town. I'm actually going to be in Charleston for most of November.
Nice.
Got a couple shows I'm doing there, but yeah, and then I'll be back December. I think I'm coming back for like literally a week in November just to go to AEW Full Gear. And then I'm going to fly back for Thanksgiving. So
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. In December, got a couple good.